women in political leadership. Welcome, Your Excellencies. Indeed, your presence here with us is extremely meaningful. Members of the audience, please once again welcome great leaders who came before us. And as we welcome our distinguished guests, the Inyamibwa Cultural Group would like to continue extending a warm welcome. The cultural performances will continue as our guests of honor settle in. Have a seat, ladies and gentlemen. And the performances will continue before we proceed with the official part. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the vibrancy, the energy, and the spirit of African culture. Thank you once again to the Inyamibwa Cultural Group for that wonderful performance. Before we begin, I'd like to kindly note that interpretation is available, 1 for English and 2 for French. Should you require interpretation, by a show of hands, our ushers will bring you interpretation devices. Thank you, and we shall now begin our program. Our guest of honor, Honorable Senator Gahamanyi Bibian, representing Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda. Her Excellency Sahle-Work Zewde, the former President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Her Excellency Catherine Samba-Panza, former President of the Central African Republic. Her Excellency Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, former Chairperson of the African Union Commission. Apologies. His Excellency Ambassador Bankole Adeoye, Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security of the African Union Commission. Mr. Francis Gatare, President of the African School of Governance. Dr. Jide Okeke, Director of the Regional Program for Africa of the United Nations Development Program. Honorable Dr. Zaneter Ageman Rawlings, Vice President of the Pan-African Parliament, distinguished representatives of the African Union, the UNDP, the African Women Leaders Network, the African School of Governance, and the government of Rwanda. The children of Africa, the sons and daughters of Africa, are you here in the room? Are you here in the room? Good morning and welcome home. It is a great honor to welcome you to the flagship launch of the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership. Welcome to Kigali-Rwanda, the land of 1,000 hills, a living proof of visionary leadership, inclusion, and partnership. Welcome home, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellencies, we're not here today to start the story of African women's leadership. Long before modern institutions, women, African women, governed kingdoms and they shaped empires. Today, we gather to honor that legacy, to strengthen it, and to carry it forward. Before we proceed, let us recognize African women leaders and the allies standing beside them. Join us, ladies and gentlemen, in a warm round of applause as we acknowledge our heroes. Excellencies, this academy is a unique Pan-African movement. It beautifully bridges 5 key partners: the African Union Commission, the UNDP, the African Women Leaders Network, and the African School of Governance, with its proud home right here in Kigali, Rwanda. Importantly, it unites leaders from all the 5 regions of Africa and our 6th region, the Caribbean. Importantly, it is also intergenerational and inclusive, bringing together seasoned stateswomen, vibrant young women leaders, and women leaders with disabilities. To our government, development partners, and the private sector, we invite you to stand with us. We invite you to stand with the women leaders of Africa. Excellencies, with that shared vision, we begin the official program. For the welcoming and introductions, our first speaker leads the African School of Governance, an ambitious new institution built on the belief that Africa's future is shaped by the quality, the integrity, and the vision of its leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the President of the African School of Governance, Mr. Francis Gatare. Welcome, Mr. Francis.
Good morning, everyone. Your Excellencies, former heads of state, Your Excellency, our guest of honor, Honorable Bibian Gahamanyi, Honorable Ministers, Members of Parliament, the inaugural class of the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership, class of 2026, welcome. Welcome to Kigali, Rwanda, and welcome to this launch event of the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership here in Kigali, Rwanda. It is fitting that the launch of this very important academy happens in Kigali, in a country whose leadership is already at the forefront of championing women empowerment and gender equality, particularly in political and economic leadership. The African School of Governance is an initiative that His Excellency President Paul Kagame, together with His Excellency Haile Mariam Desalegn Boshi, former Prime Minister of Ethiopia, conceived as an initiative to train a new generation of African leaders, men and women, whose heart is in the service of their people. The African School of Governance is built on the premise that leadership matters in politics, in economics, in society, and in all forms of human well-being. But that perhaps the most important thing is the character of a leader. And so the African School of Governance education program is structured around developing a generation of leaders that have a transformative mindset, that believe in ethical leadership, that are committed to the pursuit of excellence, and whose purpose in life is the service of their communities. And so we are very honored to have been identified as partners with the African Women Leadership Network, the UNDP, and the African Union Commission to champion this amazing initiative, the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership. To the inaugural class, we have been honored to interact with you. You are very successful already. There is very little that anybody can teach you, because looking at your profiles, you were selected among over 1,300 applicants, and you were selected on the basis of already demonstrated success in public service, particularly in political leadership. And so this academy, participating in this academy, is an opportunity to network with each other, to learn from each other, actually to teach each other, maybe to validate your already known and experienced practices, but most importantly, to create a network of support that is going to have a lifelong impact in your careers. At the African School of Governance, we would like to welcome you on board. We want you to be a part of our community. We want you to be a part of the other cohorts of participants in the various programs that ASG provides. ASG is a graduate professional institution that provides degree programs. But perhaps our most impactful programs are short courses like these ones, which bring people already successful in their careers and put them together into a network that will support each other. And so we have 2 degree programs already running: the Masters in Public Administration 2-year program, and starting this September, the Executive Master in Leadership and Governance program also kicking off. We would like to invite you to be a member of this community and participate in the various initiatives that ASG offers. Once again, I want to welcome you all to Kigali in Rwanda, and particularly I want to congratulate the inaugural class of the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership, and hope that you will have an amazing time here in Kigali and enjoy the beauty and hospitality of Rwanda. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francis Gatare. Excellencies, the Academy is the product of a shared vision that Africa's transformation requires women's leadership in every institution and in every decision-making space. We now turn to our partners who brought the Academy to life. Our next speaker, Dr. Jide Okeke, is Director of the Regional Program for Africa at the UNDP, an institution that has shaped, resourced, and driven this initiative. Dr. Jide is an unapologetic gender champion, a true he for she, who demonstrates that male allyship is about showing up, investing resources, and creating space for women to lead. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Jide.
Good morning. I'm so pleased to be here. And I think we are realizing something incredibly powerful this morning. But before I go into the statement I'm about to make, let me really recognize some exceptional leaders that we stand on their shoulders. Allow me to recognize the guest of honor, Senator representing the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Rwanda. Former presidents that are here from Central African Republic and, of course, from Ethiopia, you're welcome. My former boss at the African Union, Madam Zuma, it's such a pleasure to see you again. Welcome. My colleagues from UNDP, the resident representative, my professional mother, how can I forget, Madam Benita Diop. Thank you so much. This is as much as your initiative, as much as it's ours as UNDP. Thank you so much for the leadership, for your guidance, for the inspiration throughout the years. Colleagues, the person who should be delivering the remarks this morning is not in this room. Ahuna Eziakonwa. She's in New York following her assumption of duty as the UN Secretary General's Special Advisor on Africa. And because of that, I thought about what to say for the past week and concluded that she is not absent. Africa rewarded her. Africa promoted her. And that is why she's not here physically with us. However, she's going to be connecting with the cohort virtually over the course of the next few days. I am not going to attempt her eloquence today. I have watched better speakers than myself try without success. But what I can do is to testify. I was in the room when this academy was still nothing more than a shared consensus amongst our lean leaders and Ahuna. And she gave us, her team, 3 instructions. I have carried them with me for the last 2 years. And I would like to hand them over to the new cohort. The first is that she said, build an academy, but don't make it academic. She was not dismissing scholarship. Rather, I believe she asked for sisterhood, she asked for mentorship, and she asked for experience sharing that transcends being lectured. A room where a female presidential candidate from Senegal tells you precisely what it cost her to lose an election and what she would do differently. Where the unwritten rules, the ones no curriculum contains, are finally written down and handed over. That's the first instruction that Ahuna gave to us, and I think we are fulfilling that today. The second instruction was to make the academy intergenerational. She refused a room of only accomplished women. She refused a room of only aspiring women. She wanted a diverse group of women. Today, the women in this room are from 28 African countries and the Caribbean, with blended profiles. So in this room are city mayors, there are governors, legislators, and many more. At least 40% of this cohort are between the age of 35 and 45, relatively young, and they deserve a round of applause for being here. At least 60% come from countries that will be going into elections over the next 3 years. What that means in practice is that we have a remarkable set of founding cohort members that have careers ahead of them and may require the assets required for the forthcoming elections. So we hope that from this room are emerging leaders in political offices over the next 3 years. That is what success looks like for us. The third instruction Ahuna gave to her team is that we must stand on shoulders of giants. And she named them President Salewok, the first female president of Ethiopia, and now the leader of the network, still walking into rooms like the Sahel, where the temperature is high, because that is what leaders are supposed to do. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. She mentioned several others. President Johnson Sirleaf, Madam Benita Diop, Catherine Samba Panza. These are all founders who in 2017 turned a conversation between the African Union and the United Nations into a movement that has now reached every corner of the continent. Congratulations to the Africa Women Leaders Network. As I still work for UNDP, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me point to some data sets. Rwanda holds the highest proportion of women legislators on earth, 64%. It is not the highest in Africa, it is the highest in the world. Which means we are launching an academy beyond an abstract aspiration. It is not a coincidence that we are launching this academy in Rwanda. We are launching it in a country that has made the impossible look administrative. At the recent African Development Bank annual meetings in Libreville, I had mentioned that we should stop counting jobs and start counting enterprises. Permit me to say something similar today. We must not only count the number of women that enter into politics, but more importantly, we must begin to count the number of women that hold power once they are there. I think it is really important. Because we know women are capable and cannot be stopped. So it is not because of lack of talent, but the constraints are as follows. It is because of money. It is because of protection. It is because of limited coalition. 76% of parliamentarians, women parliamentarians, reported intimidation by the public, and this contrasted with 68% of men. On this continent, it is important to note that an average of $40,000 is required to contest a parliamentary seat. So this academy teaches campaign financing without apology, alongside legislative craft, coalition building, communications, and ethical leadership. Anyone who declines to teach women about raising money has already decided who is going to lose. And we are not stopping at this academy. With the African Union, UNDP is now developing a continental guidance on financial barriers of women candidacy. 3 days ago in Abuja, Nigeria, ministers and party leaders adopted the Regional Action Agenda, turning ECOWAS Declaration on Parity into time-bound obligations. Ahuna asked for sisterhood rather than syllabus. That request now sits with you, the cohort. We can only convene you. Only you can become a network. So I ask you one thing on her behalf. When you rise, and some of you will rise very far, do not arrive alone. send for the woman behind you. Name her in the room she is not in. I learned these wise words from President Saleh Work during her speech in New York last year. Now, I would say something to end my statement, and it is directed to Ahuna because I know she's going to listen to this. You gave an instruction that we did not fully understand at the time. Build an academy, but don't make it academic. This has been realized today, and we are indebted to you. Congratulations on the class of 2026, and we look forward to a productive engagement over the next few days. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Director Jide, for those gracious words. Your Excellencies will now hear from Her Excellency Bineta Diop, co-convener of the African Women Leaders Network, an advocate for women's participation in peace processes and instrumental in achieving gender parity at the AU Commission. Through the African Women Leaders Network, she has built a sisterhood across 39 countries. Please give a warm welcome to Her Excellency Bineta Diop.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. Your Excellency, President Sahle-Work Zewde, Your Excellency, Catherine Samba-Panza, Your Excellency, Honorable Dlamini Bibiane, the Senator of the Parliament of the Republic of Rwanda, representing Her Excellency, Madam Janet Kagame, First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda, Your Excellency, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, former chairperson of the African Union Commission, honorable ministers, speakers, and members of parliament, Mr. Francis Gatere, the president of the African School of Governance, Dr. Jide Okoke, Director, Regional Program for Africa, representing the UNDP, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished representative of the African Union, and let me recognize Honorable Ambassador Bankole Ayodeyi, Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security of the African Union Commission, distinguished member of the inaugural cohort of the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, all of you. It's a great honor to welcome you to the launch of the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership today. Allow me first to express our sincere appreciation to the government and people of the Republic of Rwanda for the warm hospitality we have received since we arrived here in Kigali. We are especially grateful to His Excellency President Paul Kagame and Her Excellency, the First Lady, Mrs. Janet Kagame. Their leadership has positioned Rwanda as a global example of what is possible when political will, gender equality, and positive masculinity come together. They could be a more fitting place, as Dr. Jide have said, on this continent or even globally to launch this academy. Thank you, Rwanda. Today marks much more than the inauguration of another institution. It represents a defining moment in the evolution of the African Women Leaders Network. For years, we have advocated for women leadership. Today, we moved decisively from advocacy to implementation. This academy is one of the practical mechanisms through which our vision will become reality. Let me recall the vision of our patron, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who says, if your dream does not scare you, it's not big enough. So our dream is big enough, and today we are in the reality of that dream. I wish to express the Africa Women Leaders Network profound appreciation to our strategic partner, UNDP, whose steadfast collaboration has helped transform this dream into action. I also wish to recognize the leadership of our sister, Auna Eziakonwa, whose commitment was instrumental in bringing this initiative to life. Thank you, Auna, but also thank you, Jide and your team at UNDP to believe on this dream and make it happen here today. So let me also thank the Africa School of Governance for welcoming us and making sure that this first cohort is hosted here, but also the other cohort to come. Let me also thank our entire team of the Africa Women Leaders Network, which is led by our Executive Director, Joyce Menskol. And Fatu, thank you for being here, but leading the work of this academy. Excellency, Africa has never lacked capable women leaders. What has often been missing is an ecosystem that intentionally prepares, mentors, accompanies, and support women throughout their leadership journey, from the community level to the highest offices of government. The Academy is designed to build that ecosystem today. Thank you. It's also about building partnership across generation and across sectors. We need government, civil society, academia, private sector, and our male allies working together to create an enabling environment where women can lead and thrive. Only yesterday, as Dr. Jide have already alluded to, in Abuja, we joined women leaders from across West Africa in adopting the Abuja Declaration, reaffirming our collective commitment to strengthen women's political leadership across the continent, not just in West Africa, but how we can motivate other regions of this continent. So today launches another important milestone on that same journey, the journey of the African Women Leaders Network. To our inaugural cohort in this room, out of more than 1,000 applicants, more than 1,000, only 4 exceptional women have been selected. Congratulations to the first cohort. This is not simply an achievement, it is a responsibility to all of us. Over the next 5 days, you will gain knowledge, practical skills, access to some of Africa's finest leaders. Madam Sally work have been with Madam Samba Panza on peace and security in the Sahel, in the Great Lakes, in so many regions, supporting women that are in conflict zone. So your leadership is going to share those experiences with this cohort. So thank you for being here. But perhaps your greatest asset, you the first cohort, will be sisterhood you will build here among yourself. This relationship will become your network of mentors, collaborators, and champions throughout your lives. Our commitment does not end when this program concludes. Through coaching, mentoring, and continuous engagement, Aulin and our partners will continue to accompany you as you grow into the next generation of Africa women leaders. Excellencies, the Academy reflects our conviction that women political leadership is not just a women issue, it's a governance issue, a democratic imperative. When women lead, institutions become stronger, communities become resilient, democracy was. Thank you, Madam, for that great agenda for women in Africa. But also the Sustainable Development Goals And here I salute my sister also, Madam Amina Mohammed, the Deputy Secretary General, who have led also the goals to implement, not just in Africa, but worldwide. So let this academy become the place where future president, minister, parliamentarian, governors, mayor, negotiators, peace builders, being their journey. Together, let's build an Africa where every capable woman has not only have the opportunity to lead, but also the support to succeed. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Bineta Diop. That sets the stage for us to now hear from the African Union. Excellencies, women's political leadership lies at the very heart of the African Union's Agenda 2063, particularly aspirations 3 and 6 of the Union for an Africa of good governance and an Africa that is driven by its people, inclusive of its women and youth. We'll now hear from a distinguished AU commissioner, an African statesman, and a true gender champion who leads by example. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency Ambassador Bankole Adeoye, the Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security of the African Union Commission. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Excellencies, former President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, former President of the Central African Republic, former Chairperson of the African Union Commission, former Special Envoy on Women, Peace and Security of the African Union. I believe we should give them a round of applause. We have a galaxy of women leaders in the room. Esteemed cohort members, President of the African School of Governance, senior officials of UNDP, ladies and gentlemen. This inauguration of the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership is a critical milestone. So on behalf of the chairperson of the Commission, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, I want to extend warmest congratulations on this inauguration. We have to thank especially and appreciate the United Nations Development Programme, the African Women Leaders Network, the African School of Governance, and all partners for their vision and collaboration in bringing this academy into fruition. Today marks, for us in the African Union, a new program. It represents a strategic investment in Africa's democratic future, an investment in women's leadership that will strengthen our institutions, deepen democratic governance, and of course, advance peace, security, and sustainable development. This initiative reflects a shared understanding that Africa's aspirations under Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, will only be realized if we fully embrace and nurse the leadership, the talent, and the innovation of all people, particularly women. Across Africa, across our institutions, we are navigating increasingly complex realities. Complex political transitions, climate-related risk, public health challenges, and the growing demand for accountable governance. And we see this academy as part of that implementation process. How long can we afford to see African women being touted as not ready to lead? History has already answered that question. The real answer: fully recognize, support, and benefit from the leadership, political leadership of women. Our responsibility, therefore, is to build, to nurture institutions where leadership is determined by competence, integrity, and public service, and where women are able not only to participate, but to shape decisions, to influence policy, and to transform governance. This is precisely the direction in which the African Union Commission continues to work. We support, without a doubt, meaningful participation of women in political decision-making and leadership. Excellencies, I have a lot to say, but the most important thing is that when the difference is clear. It is therefore a strategic imperative for conflict prevention, the peace we want. Excellencies, without much ado, I really want to assure you that as we shape this new program, the partner, we are committed to strongly working to reflect this important shift from advocating for women's participation to deliberately building the pipeline. Excellencies, once again, I want to thank you all for being here. We will support this project with all our heart, and we urge the participants to study with courage, to impact with humility. Above all, we must lead in this deep commitment to Pan-Africanism, to serving the people of our country, democratic experience. Most importantly, we will have to work towards sustaining peace. The generations of young African women advance peace and stability, and most importantly, accelerate the Africa. We want. I thank you so much for your position.
Network governance and political participation pillar. Her leadership in national dialogue inspires us all. With a resounding warm round of applause, let us warmly welcome Her Excellency.
C'est pour moi un grand honneur de prendre la parole à l'occasion du lancement officiel de l'Académie africaine pour le leadership politique des femmes, gouvernance et participation politique du réseau des femmes leaders africaines à Oline. L'ouverture de les femmes qui conduiront l'Afrique de demain. Car aujourd'hui, l'avenir de notre continent repose autant sur celles qui assument actuellement de hautes responsabilités que sur celles qui se forment, s'engagent et se préparent à prendre le relais. L'histoire africaine témoigne de la force du leadership des femmes. N'a été obtenue sans lutte. Derrière chaque femme, devenu chef d'État ou ministre, parlementaire ou responsable tenaire, nous œuvrons également à transformer les règles, les institutions et les pratiques qui freinent encore le FIPA. Il faut également leur permettre d'y entrer dans des meilleures conditions, d'y exercer pleinement leur autorité, d'y demeurer et d'y produire des résultats. Cela suppose des réseaux solides, un mentorat exigeablement l'espace politique du niveau local jusqu'aux plus hautes fonctions de l'État. Ces dernières années, une nouvelle dynamique s'est affirmée sur notre continent, devienne une force politique durable. Excellences, chers participants, à travers la Fondation Catherine Samba Panza pour les femmes. Mon ambition est d'en faire un espace d'accompagnement. Et de transmettre des savoirs et des liens que vous créerez, ainsi que des conseils que vous recevrez. Mais gardez aussi à l'esprit que cet accompagnement vous oblige, accessible et plus juste pour celles qui viendront après vous. Le véritable progrès ne se juge pas seulement au sommet atteint par quelques-unes, femmes que nous aurons aidées à avancer, à la solidité des chemins que nous aurons ouverts et à la liberté avec laquelle voilà l'engagement d'Aoline. Voilà le sens de cette académie. Et voilà surtout la responsabilité que nous partageons. Faire émerger une génération de femmes capables de conduire l'Afrique avec compétence, conviction et solidarité. C'est pour cette noble raison que je dirige inlassablement ce pilier et suis ravie d'être avec vous aujourd'hui pour ce lancement. Je vous remercie pour votre aimable attention.
Merci beaucoup, Votre Excellence Catherine Samba Panza. Thank you very much, Your Excellency Catherine Samba Panza. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, these leaders are testimonies that here at the Academy, we do not simply seek to train leaders. We seek to cultivate women who will serve their people with their whole lead with courage. It is a great honor to now hear from a leader who embodies a distinct legacy of courage, of wisdom, and unwavering commitment to woman president, and dedicated her career to public service, to diplomacy and peace building. As an elder of the African Women's Leaders Network, Her Excellency Sahlawork personified president of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Excellencies, continue with a warm round of applause as we welcome our elder to the stage, a woman who has served with courage, with commitment to her.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very much honored to be here with you this morning. I wish to start by commending the African Union, UNDP, the efforts for bringing this vision to life. My special appreciation goes to our dear sister, Ahuna, as a continental institution. Her belief that investing in women's political leadership is an investment in Africa's democratic future, says in her new and very important mandate. Today marks a shift in how we prepare the next generation of African women leaders. For too long, networks expanded and experience passed from one generation to the other. It reflects the shared vision of the African Union and indeed the international community over many decades. I have come to appreciate that leadership is never simply about occupying an office. Or a high office. It is about judgment, about integrity, humility, and the ability to bring people together in moments' time. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this is why this academy is so significant. It's not can strengthen institution, build trust, manage complexity, and serve with purpose. In doing so, it sends an equally important message to every young African walking alongside one another, sharing experience, offering encouragement, and opening doors that were once closed. The Academy gives believed. When women invest in another, other women, Africa advances. This has to be a real reality on the ground. The true significance of to the inaugural cohort, allow me to offer my warmest congratulations. You have earned your place through your talent, commitment, and indeed potential. To yourself, to your values, and never allow others to define the limits of your ambition. Those who came before you have helped open doors for many women who will follow. Know that you do not walk alone. We your elders will be cheering you. A generation of principled, capable and compassionate leaders who will help shape the future of our dear continent. I am convinced success as we embark on this remarkable journey. Thank you for your attention.
Of the UNDP Regional Program for Africa, Mr. distinguished leaders, excellencies, honorable ministers, deputy speakers, and members of parliament. Members of Rwanda is proud to host the launch of the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership and to welcome the distinguished leaders, partners, and milestone. The African Academy represents a bold and timely investment in African women's leadership, and we applaud the partnership of the United Nations Development Women Leaders Network. I would like to extend warm congratulations to the inaugural cohort of the African Academy for Vision of Women from political life, Africa's own history offers a powerful response. Women have always led force in the affairs of state. She was not a symbolic presence at the margins of power, but a co-architect of leadership. Women women's leadership is not a departure from African tradition. It is at the core, and indeed a continuation of it. Ladies and gentlemen, a question of fairness. It is a precondition for national progress. This is the choice Rwanda made to champion gender parity at home and across our continent. Is matched by political will. Our pursuit of gender parity is rooted in a simple truth. A nation can only truly progress in every sphere. Distingués invités, the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership is a way for us at the core of the Academy's philosophy is a recognition that women do not need permission to lead. Rather, they need the opportunities, networks, knowledge, and support systems that enable them to lead effectively, confidently, and sustainably. Throughout Africa, many remarkable women have paved the way, some of whom are with us in this room today. They have led nations, transformed institutions, shaped policies, and broken barriers that once seemed impossible to overcome. Their journeys remind us that progress is not automatic. Each generation of women leaders expands the possibilities available to the next. Yet, we also know that no leader succeeds alone. Behind every successful leader are mentors, supporters, peers, and communities that have helped them navigate challenges and seize opportunities. Dear cohort members, as you begin this journey together, I encourage you to approach this academy not only as a space for learning, but as a platform for strategic exchange among women who are already shaping public life in significant ways. Each of you brings valuable experience from different political systems, institutions, communities, and leadership contexts. The strength of this cohort lies precisely in that diversity. I hope the Academy will afford you a space for honest conversation and meaningful connection, a space where seasoned and emerging leaders can strengthen their networks and build the kind of solidarity that enables women not only to enter political spaces, but to influence them and to transform them. Cohort members, as you take up the mantle of political leadership, I urge you to remember that public office does not require you to set aside the experiences and relationships that give leadership its humanity. You will be political leaders, but you will also remain daughters, mothers, sisters, caregivers, mentors, and pillars of your communities. These roles are not competing responsibilities, they are complementary and will be your source of community and strength. They teach patience, responsibility, resilience, and the importance of building for generations to come. Africa does not ask its women leaders to choose between the political and the personal. It needs them to deal with wisdom of both. Distinguished guests, I want to express sincere appreciation for the long-standing partnership between Rwanda and the UNDP. For decades, the UNDP has stood alongside Rwanda as a trusted partner in our national development journey. UNDP's role in bringing this initiative to life reflects a shared conviction that investing in women's leadership is inseparable from investing in a nation's development. I also wish to express our appreciation to the African Union Commission for its steadfast leadership in advancing the agenda of women's political participation across the continent. I extend as well our sincere gratitude to the African Women Leaders Network. Since its founding, the network has built a continental sisterhood of women leaders dedicated to peace, governance, and development, and it has consistently created spaces where women's voices carry weight in the rooms that matter. Thanks to the African School of Governance for its commitment to placing women's political leadership at the core of its executive programs. Through its partnership in designing and delivering this academy, the school has demonstrated the power of institutions working together to advance inclusive leadership across Africa. The launch of this academy is an important milestone, but it is only the beginning. The true measure of its success will be found in the journeys of the women who pass through it. It will be found in the policies they influence, the institutions they strengthen, the communities they serve, and the generations of women and girls they inspire. I congratulate all the partners here today for bringing this vision to life, and I wish every success to the inaugural cohort as you embark on this journey for the good of our continent. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Senator Bibiane. Thank you very much, and please convey our deepest gratitude to Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame for the inspiring message. Can we also give a warm round of applause to Her Excellency for sending us that message? Thank you very much. Excellencies, before we proceed, can we together acknowledge and thank the government of the Republic of Rwanda for being the most fitting home of this academy? Ladies and gentlemen, is there a better fitting home for this academy? The #1 country in the world with most women in parliament. And Excellencies, we're also deeply honored by the presence of our distinguished Rwandan officials here today. Later today, we'll be joined by retired Honorable Justice Domitila Mukantangazwa, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Rwanda. And we also have amongst us Her Excellency Consoli Uwimana, Minister of Gender and Family Promotion. Once again, let us say another thank you to the government and to the people of Rwanda for believing in the power of women's leadership. Excellencies, you can see our technical team laying now our stage for another historic moment. We're going to have the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the United Nations Development Program and the African School of Governance. The main idea and the main aim of this signing is to solidify partnerships, to move on from vision into commitment and from commitment into action. Ladies and gentlemen, our technical team will continue setting up the stage, and I would like to invite our signatories to take their position. All right, we'll take a moment there. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'd like to acknowledge all the important messages that were shared here today, from being reminded that this is an academy that is not just academic, but a sisterhood, a peer learning platform, a platform in the continent unlike no other. And we're very much honored to be joined by participants from across the continent as we gather for the launching of this Pan-African gathering. Once again, gentlemen, we've heard from our distinguished guests. We're going to now continue with the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let us proceed in the moment. We're now going to proceed with the program. And earlier we were told that our guests were absolutely mesmerized by that traditional Rwandan cultural performance. And I was like, feel the energy, feel the excitement, feel the spirit. This is the beauty of African culture. Now, if you agree with me, we're going to do a warm round of applause, and then the traditional dance performance will know that they can now come and perform. If we remain quiet, they'll remain having coffee outside. Do you want them to come in? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Inyamibwa Cultural Group for another mesmerizing cultural performance of the beautiful Rwanda, a country of 1,000 hills, a country of rivers and lakes, the beautiful Rwanda, ladies and gentlemen. The cultural performance will continue now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, while our traditional dance performance group prepares to take the stage, we'd like to remind you that the Memorandum of Understanding signing will happen just in a separate venue to make the logistics more easier and to also save time for the other engagements that we're going to have today. But once again, we'd like to acknowledge all of you for your presence. We'd like to thank you, all of you who have traveled from all 4 corners of Africa, all 5 corners of Africa, and also our 6th region, the Caribbean. We're now waiting for the dancers to take the stage. They'll be joining us shortly.
gateway to East Africa.
Ghana, Kenya, Liberia, Malawi, Mauritania, Mauritius, Namibia, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone, South Africa, South Sudan, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, Algeria, Central African Republic, and Togo. 31 countries from across Africa. How do we even fit in this room? Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome.
Nimwumve ibyiza by'u Rwanda mama, reka nsingize urwambyaye shenge. I Rwanda nziza, Rwanda rw'imisozi, u Rwanda rwacu rw'ibiyaga n'ibirunga ibirihiza boroma. Nimwumve ibyiza by'u Rwanda mama, imirambi myiza y'iwacu shenge, amata bateza adatemba ibibaya bikina inyange ku mugo w'inyana zitashye mama. Nimwumve ibyiza by'u Rwanda mama, ibiyaga byiza by'iwacu shenge, yari ikivuno cyawe muhazi mubanza ibuganza zibera abana b'amahanga nimwumve ibyiza by'u Rwanda mama mu birunga risa by'inyoshenge nyamuragira nyiragongo nawe u Rwanda nimwumve ibyiza by'u Rwanda mama abakunda ibyiza by'u Rwanda shenge imitari iratamira isamaza zibasusurutse amare bazabari bagize nimwumve ibyiza by'u Rwanda mama karugamba yahojorwa narindwa uko niwe mushumba w'umugabo impamba na cyumba yabaho icyomoro cy'ingabo yehese nyamihigo
ntagishikaye yari ntagishika mboneza amakuza rugira amacumu arwara ishyaka baririmba n'indekwe
uri mwiza suwera ibiganza uri mwiza uri mugu uri mwiza se gashu yawanguriye agashanana ko gukinga ku mata kwa maribo rataboneka ye mama wararaye nk'ikibugabuga nangerukawe urubabyiwe kwari kwa muceri wanyoye
amazi ya nyanja
nk'ingwari kwa mucera we byingwe kwa so akubyaye mama we kugasona mutendewe byingwe nazara nkaraye mama we rurabona teya wizuba ritagera mukene rwumva mwitumba rurusharo gutora nimunare mumumpamagarire nimunare mumumpamagarire ngiyo na benzi kumujyana kuko umwana atazi kugenda nimunare mumumpamagarire nimunare mumumpamagarire naragukunze mbigire ibanga naragukoma yesi naryama maze nkubonye nshira agahinda nimunare mumumpamagarire nimunare mumumpamagarire nimunare mumumpamagarire nimunare mumumpamagarire urugamba rurashyushye nkundirwa gutabara mwe
nyamibwa
ye nk'iruraterwa maze ruragomba intwari
nimutembere umazi
nimukwira ingamba duhobera u Rwanda we
nyamibwa
yehobe hobe shenge Rwanda rwa Gasabo
nimutembere umazi
umurage wo kwarene gakondo iwacu we
nyamibwa
ye n'ibisekuru byanyu byakwiriye u Rwanda
nimutembere umazi
irubimburira ngabo yaratabaye
nyamibwa
yerutikurana amakosa hicana ngatangwa
nimutembere umazi
imwe w'inyange mwumvi murera we
nyamibwa
yenke nawe iryanya wera mwumvi Nyarugenge
nimutembere umazi
igitsina nyamibwa nibera hose yenguwo baramuranganya nzayamwemaga
nimutembere umazi
sindirimba ndavuga abana we
nyamibwa
abo twaheranye icyange nyuma y'u Rwanda
nimutembere umazi yewe muzirongo ni weye wakubitwaga
n'amandare we mamandare we
nimucuri inyana zagina ziratashe mamandare we
yamageze ku birenge bawe ndemerewe
yamageze ku
birenge nanjye nyemeze
yamageze ku birenge
warengerewe
yamageze
ku birenge wagenye wetuwe
yamageze ku
birenge mwabara kwijaye
yamageze ku birenge
warengerewe
yamageze ku
birenge mwe barakwiza we
yamageze ku
birenge no kushemerwa
yamageze ku birenge
barigire we
yamageze ku birenge
yakaraga majyane we
yamageze ku
birenge cyaye murende
yamageze ku birenge
barigire we
yamageze ku birenge
ayetaye murindi we
yamageze ku birenge
umurindi gwa twari yego
yamageze ku birenge barigire we
birenge iwe nyamibwa we
yamageze ku birenge
ayamwije tuzane
yamageze ku birenge barigire we
ayagenda kuzana we
yamageze ku birenge
wije tuzane go
yamageze ku birenge
barigire we birenge washyitsi mwana we
yamageze
birenge mwe barakwije
ku birenge
barigire we
yamageze ku birenge izuguru y'amarembo shenge ruhura agendwa urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa ruragendwa bahungu ruragendwa bakobwa urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa burya umwana ujya iwawo ntabara iminsi ureba urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa burya umwana ujya iwawo ntabara iminsi nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa kuko iyo bazi iminsi n'abagitashe urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa uzaza urebe urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa yewe uzaza urebe urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa iyo mwambaye shenge musambaza abandi uzaza urebe urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa yewe uzaza urebe urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa ikibuga cy'indege ni mpuzamahanga uzaza urebe urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa dore mwishe hariya ni umwami yarahaye urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa iyo mwambaye shenge musamaza abandi we urebe urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa nimubyine ntimutinye ntacyo babatwara urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa yewe uzaza urebe urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukure kw'Imana we ruragendwa yewe uzaza urebe urwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we nukuri kwa Mungu we nukuri kw'Imana we u Rwanda ruragendwa senge u Rwanda ruraryoshye we nukuri kwa Mungu we u Rwanda ruragendwa senge we yewe ruragendwa we ruragendwa
imirongo mpamagara nkaba nikitaba nk'abagabo muri mana byutse ubukame bazanye nawe nyangeze u Rwanda we ndabona kariza abantu ndabukira nazanye n'imbwa z'u Rwanda we ndabona imukire ntimutinye
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. We're back again. Thank you so much once again to the Inyamibwa Cultural Group for helping us experience the vibrancy and the radiance of Rwandan culture. We now come at a very important moment where we introduce our cohort. Ladies and gentlemen, these are 40 exceptional women from across Africa and the Caribbean. They are parliamentarians, they are ministers, they are mayors, they are party leaders, but importantly, their future will be brighter than their past and present, thanks to the Academy, which will nurture them. Ladies and gentlemen, as we meet our cohort, we kindly request for your attention to the screen for this video introducing them.
Hundreds have led Africa's nations. Out of those, here are the women.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ones who came before us.
25 women. They should be more. The African Academy for Women in Political Leadership. This is how that number grows.
Ladies and gentlemen, our academy is intergenerational. We started with the ones who served, the ones who came before us, the ones who addressed us this morning. Can we honor them once again? Ladies and gentlemen, we always honor the ones who came before us. And now we will meet the young, the aspiring, the ones who are now in their time. The video will continue. We're now, ladies and gentlemen, going to show the 40 inaugural cohort. These are 40 exceptional women out of 1,400 submissions submitted. And that is a powerful demonstration of the overwhelming goodwill and acceptance of this initiative from across our continent. We're now going to see the 40 exceptional women, and then we're going to have them come here on stage and we're going to meet them in person. The video will play. Technical team, please play the video.
The African Academy for Women in Political Leadership brings together women leaders to build on their experience, deepen their knowledge, and strengthen connections across the continent. The Academy, established by the United Nations Development Programme in partnership with the African Union Commission, the African School of Governance, and the African Women Leaders Network, is an initiative dedicated to advancing women's political leadership across Africa. From more than 1,300 applications, 40 women leaders from 30 countries across Africa and the Caribbean were selected as the Academy's founding cohort through a transparent and merit-based process. Over the course of a 4-week blended program, participants will come together for 2 weeks of in-person learning in Kigali, complemented by virtual sessions that will allow them to continue serving their communities while participating in the program. More than an academy, this is a platform for sisterhood, connection, and collaboration. Through sister circles, women leaders will learn from one another, exchange experiences, and contribute to a more inclusive future for Africa. Welcome to the inaugural cohort of the African Academy for Women in Political Leadership.
Cohort members will now start Ladies and gentlemen, these are the women who will shape Africa's future. Let us celebrate them. Behind that walk is an incredible story of resilience, of never giving up. Ladies and gentlemen, of being courageous. Ladies and gentlemen, of believing in their potential. Here they walk before us. They'll also be joining us later, and Joyce Bawa will be joining us online. But these are your exceptional 40 women from across different fields. I see another journalist walking on the stage. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The stage is enough for everyone. We're in the country and the continent of Ubumuntu. All right. We can't truly meet our cohort except we hear from them. I'll now pass on the mic to them, and they'll quickly tell us their name, which country they serve, and the positions they're currently holding. I'm going to start from the center. From the center.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Anta Babakar from Senegal, Member of Parliament and a former candidate for the presidential election in 2024.
Mesdames et messieurs, Maliza Saïd Swalihi, originaire des Comores, avocate et ancienne adjointe au maire de Marseille.
Bonjour à tous, Néné Fatoumata Tall du Sénégal, ancienne ministre de la Jeunesse, membre de Femmes Wise Africa. Bonjour ambassadeur, merci beaucoup.
Mesdames et messieurs, honorable député Ndeye Awa Dieng du Sénégal, merci beaucoup.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Khadija Touan. I'm from Mauritania, member of the parliament and assistant teacher at the university. Nice to meet you all.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Dr. Ebanga Joanna from Cameroon, member of parliament. Thank you.
I'll now pass on the mic to a hero, but only if you clap. Ladies and gentlemen, meet another of our inaugural cohort.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michira Brenda from Kenya. I'm a research and policy analyst working for the National Assembly Parliaments of Kenya.
Good morning, wonderful ladies and women. I am Amira Saber, a member of the Egyptian Senate, previously a member of Parliament, and I'm the Vice President of the Egyptian Social Democratic Party.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mary Daniel Surati, Member of Parliament from Tanzania, also founder and executive director of Nyayo Tanzania. Thank you all.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kavarisa Germaine, Member of Parliament from Rwanda, Chamber of Deputies. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Savoy Imboela. I'm the President of the National Democratic Congress, NDC Party, and the immediate past chairperson of the Women in Politics in Zambia. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lenia Charity Kevin, Member of Parliament in Uganda, the youngest MP in Uganda. I also sit on the Central Executive Committee of the NRM Party representing the young people in Uganda.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alodi Iradukunda. I represent the Republic of Rwanda in the East African Legislative Assembly. And I'm also, as my colleague here, I represent the youth particularly. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jabusi Sao. I am the Speaker of the National Youth Parliament, the Gambia. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, among its ministers and honorable MPs. I am Judith Zimba from Zimbabwe. I am a councillor.
All right, before we go to the ones on the second row, I'm going to ask the ones on the first row to step on the back so that the ones who are at the back can now come to the front, and we continue our introductions. What incredible women, what impressive political ambition,
We're pleased indeed to meet our inaugural cohort. As always, we start in the middle.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stephanie Anquetil, Government Chief Whip of the Republic of Mauritius.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Obiajulo Princess Sugu, Deputy Chief Whip, Enugu State House of Assembly, current flag bearer to run for the same position in 2027. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jaco Pauline Batista Bagura. I'm from South Sudan, a member of parliament at state level, Yambio, Western Equatoria State. I'm also the current chairperson for the Specialized Committee of Gender, Child, Human Rights and Humanitarian Affairs. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Grace Amo Alex Sabalang, a member of National Parliament of the Republic of South Sudan.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Tembi Siweya. I am a member of Parliament and a parliamentary councillor to the Deputy President. I come from South Africa.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Esther Awala Mweneni from Namibia, a former Deputy Mayor of Ondangwa and a Mayor of Ondangwa at the moment. Thank you so much.
Bonjour, Excellence. Bonjour à tout le monde. Je suis Gladys Tossou, députée à l'Assemblée nationale du Bénin. Je suis ingénieur agronome. Je suis également membre du Parlement panafricain. Merci.
Greetings, Your Excellencies. My name is Tuniwe Fagote. I hail from the Royal Kingdom of Eswatini, where I serve as municipal manager to the capital city of Mbabane.
Excellencies present, all protocol observed. My name is Flora Chibule, the first Deputy Governor of Kilifi in coast of Kenya, where breakfast is served at the beach, lunch at the game drive, and dinner at the sand dunes. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Amina Ahmed El Imam. I'm an associate professor in a university. I'm also the Commissioner for Health in Kwara State, smack in the middle of Nigeria, and the Secretary of the Commissioners Forum of Kwara State, and the Secretary of all Nigerian Health Commissioners. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Good day, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Hajar Matulai Wui. I am from Sierra Leone, and I'm currently serving as the Minister of Technical and Higher Education, and I'm honored to be here today. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Josilia J. Tapla. I'm the Deputy Minister for Rural Development and Community Services from the birthplace of the African Union, Liberia, the home of Madam Salif. I'm an engineer, and I'm also the member of the Board of Directors for the Engineering Society of Liberia.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bitrus Mare. I'm a member of Parliament in Malawi and also a commissioner in Malawi Parliamentary Service Commission. Thank you.
Women power. Women power. Can I feel the power? Women power. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Esther Jolobala, Member of Parliament from Malawi, and I'm serving as the second Deputy Speaker of Malawi. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm from the country that makes the best jollof in the world, Nigeria. My name is Yemi Caxton, and I'm Special Advisor to the Minister of Education. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Halima Tudin. I am the chairperson, the deputy chairperson and leader of the United Democratic Movement Party in Sierra Leone, and also the PRO for all political party women association, also the deputy secretary general for all political parties association, where all the political party leaders converge together for solidarity. Thank you.
Good morning. The grace of home, the grace of country, and the grace of Africa. Good morning. I would like to say again, women are a grace of country and a grace of one's world. So thank you to join this African Academy Women Leadership. I would like to do my dream. My dream will be real in this way, in this academical training and this academical leadership. So I would like to say, be strong, stand for women. Women are all things. Women can do everything. So thanks for women. Thanks for a great leadership. So my name is Trainet Tamasgan from Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, and I'm a Foreign Relation and Peace Standing Committee. Before I'm a teacher, I'm a lecturer, and I'm a trainer. So thank you for this.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Falhada Iman. I'm a former senator in Republic of Kenya. I'm currently serving in East Africa Legislative Assembly. I'm one of the commissioners in the parliament. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hlachwayo Gladys. I'm from the beautiful country of Zimbabwe. I'm a member of parliament. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellencies. I respectfully observe all protocol. My name is Abi Bright, and I'm the Lord Mayor of Tema, Ghana's port and industrial city. Proudly West African. So no jollof debate. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much to our inaugural cohort. We'd like to remind you that 3 of our inaugural cohort members, retired Speaker of Parliament from the St. Nevis and Kitts, Honorable Lisa, Minister of Agriculture of St. Lucia, Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, Special Advisor and Special Aide to Her Excellency President of Ghana. They couldn't join us here due to flight inconveniences, but nevertheless, they are happy to meet the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, let's acknowledge our inaugural cohort once again. And now the moment that we have been waiting for, where we will make way for the elders to occupy the space there in the middle. We're now going to call upon our elders respectfully to join our inaugural cohort members on stage, and together we will have the official launch of the Academy. Inaugural cohort. Can we make way for the elders? How do we make way for the elders? Let's make more space for the elders. Let's clear the steps for the elders. Yes. Yes, so that they can pass from that side. All right. I would now honorably call upon Senator Rahamani Bibian, our guest of honor, who's also representing Her Excellency Jeanette Kagame. Welcome, Your Honorable. And please join the inaugural cohort members on stage. I also call upon Her Excellency Sahle-Work Zaude. I call upon Her Excellency Catherine Samba-Panza, Her Excellency Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, His Excellency Ambassador Bankole Adeoye, a true he for she. This is the man who fights for these ladies you see up here. Mr. Francis Gatare, Dr. Jide Okeke, another bold ally of these women you see here on stage. Honorable Dr. Zenator Ageman Rawlings. We also call upon Their Excellencies, the government officials from the Republic of Rwanda. Welcome to the stage. Madame Benita Diop, welcome on stage as well. And together we will have
the official launching of the Academy. All right, so I also call upon Ms. Patient Zanali, Director from AU Commission. Welcome as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we also call upon our representative, we're also joined by a special guest. I would like to recognize and warmly welcome the former Prime Minister of Togo. She just landed and she's with us. Welcome, Your Excellency. And now we are ready to officially launch the Academy, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so our partners here on stage, let me also call you very quickly. Welcome. Fatmata. Dr. Fatmata Loveta Sese. She's the resident representative of the UNDP and resident coordinator here in Rwanda. All right, Janet Mwarasi, please welcome on stage as well. Also, Her Excellency Professor Charity Manyaruke, Zimbabwean ambassador to Rwanda. Ladies and gentlemen, we're graced by all of these officials today. We're so honored by their presence, and let us officially together launch this academy. Now, there's one word that never misses out in any Pan-African gathering. Ubuntu. Can we say it together? I was told it's Ubuntu. Ubuntu. It is in that spirit that together we launch this academy. We're now going to have the official countdown. Our technical team will play that video. Ambassadors, please join us. Justice Mayanza, please join us as well. We want this official launch to be as high level as it can possibly be. And we're honored today to be joined by such a rich assembly of leaders from across our continent. Welcome to all of our leaders. Our technical team will start to play the official launch video, but when the countdown is happening, we have to raise our voices and count together, and then we'll officially launch it in the spirit of Ubuntu. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the African Academy for Women and Political Leadership is officially launched. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, we have launched the academy that will empower the daughters of Africa. Thank you all so much. We're going to have a moment of celebration. We're going to sing Harambe together. So our guests, you may kindly return to your seats. And together we're going to join hands and we will sing Harambe. Let us come together and together build this academy. DJ, thank you all so much. You may kindly return to your seats. We'll have a moment of celebrating. And once again, congratulations to our founding partners, the African Union Commission, the United Nations Development Program, the African Women Leaders Network, the African School of Governance, and our host government, the Republic of Rwanda. We'll take a moment to celebrate before we go for the official photograph to be taken outside at a designated area. DJ?
Now, the traditional dances here, they have shown us that it's not truly an African celebration except everyone is standing and moving. And Harambe is, we are uniting to build an academy. Do we build an academy seated? Oh, I don't think so. DJ, let's try again. Everyone stand. We're going to have to use our voices. All right? Harambe, harambe, tuimbe pamoja, tujenge academy. Let's unite together and build our academy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are the voices? How are the vocal cords doing this morning? They're working, right? Check, check. Okay. Harambe, harambe, tuimbe pamoja. I can't hear you. Harambe, harambe, tuimbe pamoja. Harambe, harambe, tuimbe pamoja, tujenge the academy. Exactly. One more time. Again. Harambe, harambe, tuimbe pamoja. Harambe, harambe, tuimbe pamoja. Harambe, harambe, tuimbe pamoja, tujenge academy yetu. Thank you all so much, and may this passion continue. Now we're going to have the official photograph moment, because after this we will have the press conference, we will have lunch, and then we will be reconvening at 2:30 p.m. for our conversation with the great women leaders. Therefore, I'm going to invite once again all of our dignitaries to join us outside at the designated area for the family photos. Our protocol team will be assisting them in guiding them towards the designated area outside. To the rest of our guests, kindly remain in the room as their excellencies make their exit towards the designated place outside for the photos. Thank you all so much. We'll have refreshments afterwards. There's also going to be a press conference, and then we'll have lunch, and we will come back here at 2:30 p.m. Your Excellencies, let me kindly invite you for the family photo outside.
Gateway to East Africa.
There are some who believe that what God gave them, they can never be hidden for long or forever. So they need to show up to see how God created them.
Introducing uniform shouldn't be something that we can debate